Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we don't.
I know there was one area in our front yard that I don't feel like digging, where our husky would absolutely refuse.
Or is there some history that would create something like that in that area?
I don't know. I know with our deed, it has the names of the owners that go back probably over 100 years of the property,
Wow.
or more. Artifacts and things too. So.
Wow. Very cool. Have you found any of those artifacts that you're saying on the property that you're talking about?
No.
Oh.
Most of them came from New York, the Atlantic, the ocean, from the Gulf, places like that.
You could have brought energies with you through those artifacts.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the years when my husband was in college, he went down and worked with a salvage operator. We were both scuba divers, but worked with a salvage operator out off of, I think, Freeport. And that was the year that the VA fog exploded, and there were 65 men on there. They all died, and they went to try to salvage it. So we have a few. Now it's an artificial reef, but back then in the 70s, they were trying to salvage it after it blew and sank, and we have a few pieces of it here at the house. So we have things like that. He used to, when he went to West Point, they would go dive, their ponds up in the north of West Point on the weekends or something. They go find a pond where there had been a house at one time, and they would dive in those. And so we have round bottom bottles and all kinds of different things like that.
Oh, wow. Cool.
What about paranormal investigations underwater? Have you ever done that? We've never talked about that.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done that, but I would love to do that. I do know somebody that does do that, who's a commercial diver. And his first name is Lee, and I'm not sure which one of the Lees. I'm friends with him, but I'm not sure which one it is, last name-wise. But he started doing that. They were on a commercial dive, and he heard something. He had a camera with him, and he was working, and he snapped pictures, and when he came up and looked, he had heard some sounds like yells, and he's got this face of somebody like screaming.
Wow.
Looking right at him. Wow. So that kind of piqued his interest. So and I had never thought about it. And then I had a friend, well, she was a friend, but she was also my agent at one time, and she had talked to somebody out in Florida who was a diver and was looking to do a show doing the paranormal underground, and we had talked to him about that. But the only other, paranormal diving, I was a rescue diver for the fire department out here, for Gun Barrel Fire Department. So, so we did a lot of dives with zero visibility looking for or trying to recover bodies. And that was pretty crazy. That was something that you had to really mentally prepare for, because you weren't going to find the bodies until you pretty much run into them. And,
oh my God.
You just gave me a brilliant idea, though. What if, because every lake in Texas is man-made except Caddo Lake. That's the only natural lake we have. So we could go to any lake in Texas, wouldn't have to drive far, and just go out in a boat and say, okay, this feels interesting, and do a dive there, because they didn't clear the properties when they dammed up the lakes. So there are houses under there still, there's trees. There's all because it was farmlands that they flooded for these lakes.
Right. There's some of them, like Cedar Creek Lake, they cleared out most of it, where I am. Although there are some Indian burial mounds out in this lake.
Yeah. There are several, especially around Lake Ray Roberts.
Yeah.
That were Indian grounds that I don't think they removed them.
Well, I know they didn't here.
Wow.
I'm over here at Cedar Creek, and they didn't remove them.
They did relocate some cemeteries. That's one of the things that they do.
They said they did. Now, yeah.
So I worked for them, and I designed some.
Okay, well then those, but a lot of times they would say they did and they didn't. So that would be really interesting. We need a sponsor and we need a budget.
Yes, I don't have any scuba diving equipment anymore.
Well, we'll
We
rent
sold
it.
it all to another fire department.
We'll rent it. When we get a budget, we'll rent it.
Well, rent. There's some that you need to own and not rent.
Okay.
Right.
We'll work that
For
into
your
the budget.
safety. There's certain things that you need to own yourself and maintain.
Scott is a
It's just like
scuba
being
diver.
a skydiver. There's certain you need to know how your parachute is folded and that it'll open properly.
Right.
It's the exact same thing with scuba diving.
Sure, that makes
because
sense.
Your basic equipment, other than like weights and tanks and everything, are part of your survival aspects. You never know. And when you're in these lakes, you have to remember a lot of them have trot lines, a lot of them have illegal trot lines and no visibility. And you could get hung up in one any time.
Well, we're going to need at least four. I would think that we need 4 divers for safety. So that's a big budget. We'll have to work on that.
Yes, it is.
Let's start manifesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
start
do have-
manifesting that, and I'll get certified.
Well, I'm not going to dive. I'll be the commentator.
I will.
And
You
I'll
can be the dive master.
I'll be at the boat going, "Are you there?"
We have to have a dive master, somebody who watches out for us and everything.
Scott could do that. Scott's a diver. He could do that.
Okay.
We'll finally have a man on the team. We don't have any men on the team. Did y'all notice that? No men.
Martha, I want to go back to talking about a little bit, if you guys are done with that, about artifacts that you bring home. I hear a lot of people talk about bringing artifacts home and then having spiritual activity starting in their house. So what would you recommend? Because now some people like to bring those home and communicate with them and help them cross, and others don't know what to do. So if you're going to buy an artifact from somewhere, are they all capable of being cleared of the energy, or is there anything that is actually, no matter if you sage it or do whatever around it, that entity is not going to release from that item? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Sure, and there are some things that are like that. And if somebody knows what they're doing, they may not want to bring that into their house. That can sense that, like evil, if you want to say, with it, that negativity, that deep negativity with it. And however, you have places like you have John Zappis in his museum, and he has a lot of the stuff from, his aunt and uncle from the Warrens over there. And of course, Zach Bagans has his. And it's glass coverings around and do some certain things to try to keep them contained in that one spot. And sometimes that works.
Wow.
Otherwise, don't buy it.
Yeah, don't buy it.
Yeah. So,
And sometimes you bring sometimes you go to the flea market and you bring something home, or a garage sale, and you don't even know till you bring it home.
So you should, just out of protection for yourself, just make it a habit of clearing anything you bring home from an antique shop or a flea market or anything that's old that somebody else's own, because we all have our energy in our own homes and everything that we have around us. So it should be cleared out, regardless of whether you think there's an energy or not. But if you cleared that and it's still not cleared, then you might want to get in touch with somebody like yourself that can direct them in a way that they can find out what to do,
right.
Whether they donate it to a museum where it can be contained, or they can find somebody that, they specialize in that
Right.
kind of energy.
Well, you bring up a really good item for conversation, though. There's a difference in having energy attached to an item and having a spiritual identity attached to an item. There are a lot of things, because I like antiques and have collected antiques all my life. And most antiques have an energy attached to them, and part of what makes the antique so desirable is the energy, the time. And you can have a loving energy attached to it, or you can have a homebody energy attached to it. It's not the same as having a person or a spirit or a thing or a ghost or a demon. They're different things,
Right.
So if you buy something and because you love the energy, it doesn't mean you brought a ghost home. It just means that you have somebody that, I would hope for me personally, that if my granddaughter takes all of my rocks when I'm gone, she'll feel my energy attached to those rocks, and it'll give her comfort. She'll feel the same thing that I feel from my rocks.
Right, and you don't want to cleanse that.
I see that, Elizabeth. Stop it.
Yeah.
Well, my first thought is she'll get those rocks and throw them at people.
I've done that too.
So just give a little advice for you, Mark, then what your experience with those items. What would be your advice to somebody that's not as knowledgeable about that and want to be comfortable with?
Take a class. Martha's going to teach a class. Take her class.
So just real quick, what would you say?
Well, like Deborah said, read up, contact, or, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right, and don't buy it.
Yeah.
Because we've all been past stuff that you just kind of go, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
And you don't want to have anything to do with it, so don't buy it.
I have stores. I have certain stores I won't go into. There are certain stores I'm like, nope, not going in there.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you.
No.
Some of this stuff, Martha, don't you think is just common sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
it is if you're doing this work. Before I was
right, but if you're not
aware of it.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of it 20 years ago, and not everybody is. I have read where people have no knowledge of this spiritual stuff or energies and don't know what it is, and it freaks them out. So, I think that you want to help educate people that don't know about energies.
Yeah, and I get phone calls from people about things like that, and usually I can work with them over the phone. A lot of times I don't need to go over there, and it's usually something that's very minor, but say if somebody watches all the paranormal shows out there, Little Creek or something, that it's all, it's a demon, and it's paranormal, when that's not necessarily the case at all. That most of the times, of course, it's not. So a lot of it is educating people just over the phone, talking with them to where they feel comfortable with an item. There was a lady that contacted me. Her daughter had brought home some kind of a necklace for her daughter, who was, like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. And they hung it on the wall, and the little girl started having nightmares and would tell them to turn the front of the pendant around or something. It scared her. Why it scared her, I don't know, but the grandmother was all freaked out, and I said, well, and she'd say, but if she's not in there, it doesn't bother her. So to me, it was like, well, take it off the wall and throw it away.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's simple. If it's just something for whatever reason, whether there's anything that is attached to it or not, or it's just her imagination, take it out of there.
Well, and the other thing is that sometimes it's not even a paranormal energetic level thing. It could be that there is some memory that's deep in this person's subconscious, and an item can trigger that memory, and they are having an emotional reaction to it. And, it's really hard to get people convinced of that once they've made up their mind, oh my God, there's a demon here, or there's a ghost haunting me, because let's face it, there are drama queens in every genre of life. There are. There just is.
For real.
Yeah. So, this is why I'm called in for the good stuff, because I'll say bullshit. I don't want to tell people
you have
that.
a class that you've put together, or that you're putting together for people to contact you and learn more about it?
Yeah, I haven't put that class together yet. I am doing a class at the end of August at Haunted Hill House with Maria Santa Elena Kemp. We're doing a psychic 101 class. We're doing them on 2 different nights, and those are on the nights are on the calendar. We don't have all the details out yet, but they're only going to be limited to like 10 people.
Oh, awesome! Awesome!
Yeah,
When you
just
get
10
that
people.
information, give it to us. We'll post it. We'll get it out there.
Okay.
And tell
I
people,
will.
tell
We
people
need
who
to
your
get that out
co-teacher
there,
is.
and we've been kind of, still kind of waiting, but yeah, we decided to do 2 nights, and it's just 10 people.
Tell people
And
about your
they're gonna be able to-
co-teacher. Tell them about your co-teacher.
About what?
Your co-teacher, Maria.
Oh, Maria Elena Santos Kemp has been a psychic her whole life, And when she was younger, she used to do some things like Deborah or something, but she would just talk about things that people told her, what she saw. Then her grandmother came to her when she was about 5 and explained to her that we don't talk about things like that. You know, it's just not good. You can't say anything. Well, her grandmother was dead.
That really gets confusing.
So she did not come out of the closet, so to speak, till probably about 10 years ago. And she's really amazing at what she's doing. She's down in Austin, and you know, she works with people all the time. And she has a little office there too, but you can find her on Facebook and everything. But she's really good. She's a you know, psychic medium, really, really awesome at what she does. Whenever she goes up to Mineral Wells, there's a couple of families that the whole families come to see her for readings.
Oh, that's cool.
She comes up there.
That's cool.
That's
It's
awesome.
crazy.
That is awesome.
Yeah. She's really good.
So
we're putting one together, and the way we're doing it is the people for the Saturday class will come in on Friday night, and then they can, without any information, they can go in and they can investigate the house during the night, and then the class will be like from 9 to 4, and then they'll leave, and then the Sunday class people come in at 8 o'clock on Saturday. They can investigate, and then it'll start at 9 o'clock on Sunday, and then they can go home after that.
how come you're limiting it to 10? What's the idea behind that?
Well, the class needs to be small in numbers so we can work one-on-one and help everybody. You know, it's not just the COVID thing, because we had talked about this long before any of the pandemic stuff ever came around. And we wanted to do it in a small group so you can be, you know, more intimate, more hands-on. We'll be working on a variety of different things, not just, you know, being a psychic, but it'll be on a lot of the different things that entails.
So the reason
they investigate.
I was just going to say, the reason I asked you that is I wanted to get people to understand that it's important to be in a small class like this, because you're not just delivering information, you're actually helping people to develop whatever gifts they have or talents or feelings. So it takes that one-on-one. So with 2 teachers and 10 students, they're going to get a lot of hands-on experience and guidance in that 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is. So they're really getting a big bang for their buck with this.
So, you know, it'll be almost more, it's going to be more of a hands-on workshop, because there's tools that they're going to learn to use. We're going to have a little, you know, swag bag for them even. So, you know, we're going to have fun with it. And I think it's going to cost $150 for the whole thing. So they'll walk away with some knowledge. They'll walk away with a goodie bag. They'll walk away with, if they choose to do, you know, they don't have to come in the night before and spend the night there if they don't want to. They can go stay in a hotel and just be there at 9 o'clock for the class.
Right.
You know, it's up to them.
You may have a real small class that they spend the night. They may get real small.
Well, you know, there was a team there the other night that left, a paranormal team, and they were gone by 2 o'clock.
Wow. Wow.
They couldn't take it, so they left.
What says?
That's interesting.
So,
Scaredy cat.
you know, sleep under the table in the kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
I'd love to see the video of that. Wouldn't you love to see the video of that and then run out the door?
Yes, I would love to see the video on that. That would be awesome.
Get us the video,
You
Martha.
never know. I have started putting a few of the videos from there on TikTok.
Oh my God, send those to me.
Under my name. So I have right now I have 2, and I have one. When you set something up, you can't edit it when you spell wrong. So I have one I did it really late, and I have visitor instead of visitor. And I just said These Texas speak is already.
Yeah, that's just Texas speak. Look through the window. Look at that visitor.
yeah, they have visitors.
It's written in Texan. Just get with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had time to just pull it down and do another one, but I'm just trying to learn TikTok as well. So I started throwing up a lot. So I have some of the. I think there's 3 videos up there. 2 with one is a guy that didn't believe in anything, and he comes running out of room and upstairs. They always come upstairs and running down the stairs, screaming and hollering. It's hilarious. The other one has a group of what is it? 5? There's like 5 guys, college age, and they literally run out of a room at the same time where they're falling and rolling over each other and literally fall down the stairs rolling and screaming on the way.
We need outtakes of that. We just need to put together like a 5-minute video of outtakes of people running out of that house screaming. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, I know.
That would be awesome. That really would.
Yeah. It is funny.
Oh
there's
my
some hilarious
God.
stuff.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is too funny. Oh my.
So, Martha, how are you listed on TikTok?
Martha Decker.
Oh, that was hard.
I just keep it all, my name, nice and simple. I don't need to be secret.
Well,
Just be myself.
I'm just now figuring out Zoom and YouTube. I hadn't even tried TikTok. So what's the advantage of TikTok over YouTube?
Younger people with shorter attention spans.
Oh, that would be me. Short attention span.
But I tell you, I have found it was mostly younger, just like a lot of the other things started with the younger. But more and more older people have gone over to TikTok because they're tired of all the negativity, all the arguing, all the fighting, and they don't necessarily know how to click on those little, like 3 little dots on their Facebook to say, I don't want to see things like this.
Right.
So, so it's in their feed and they just want to get away. And they go to TikTok because there's dancing and singing and there's jokes and it's, and it's a lot shorter. And there's live feed on there too, but it's a lot shorter. There's, it's just really, short bursts of, 30 to 50 seconds. And there's good conversations on some of them.
So they stay positive on them.
Oh yeah. And it's one of those where you learn like I'm learning how to do it. You can lip sync a lot of things, and it teaches you how to do all this stuff. So a lot of them are people taking songs or whatever, and they may be singing, but they're doing their interpretation, and some of it's just absolutely hilarious. And so it makes you laugh, which is good.
Yes.
Well, the ones I've seen are really funny, and they do make me laugh. I just haven't had time to go and spend a lot of time watching that, so I'll go look at yours. You need to put those up, though. I love them. And if you want us to put them up on our channel, send them to me, and we'll put them up, too.
And that's that's it. I'm just trying to learn, so I thought I have a lot of those short bursts of video from the house, because they'll send those to me. So I just started putting them up, and I'm learning. The last one I did was a short one of me, where I go upstairs in the house, close the door on the wall, come out of the room, and and as soon as I come out, the door opens back up, and you see a shadow following me.
Wow!
I've already gone on and around, and then it turns and it goes and follows, and that's not me.
Well, here's the name for those videos. You could call it Haunted Hill versus Ha Ha Hill.
Well, Haunted Hill is pretty funny. It's not for beginners, and there's a lot. Oh, and I also, Deborah, they own the lot next to the house. There used to be a house there, and the cartel, the Sinaloa cartel, was involved with that house. It was a big drug house.
You heard it here first.
The mayor said 8 people been murdered in that house, and then the constable there said that when somebody was living in there before the city illegally tore it down,
illegally,
this biker guy wanted to date some lady's daughter, and mother evidently it wasn't age appropriate, so mother told him to go away, don't come back. He came back the next day. Now, this is from the constable out there. He was a chief at one time. And the guy came back the next day, knocked on the door, mother opened the door, and he blew her head off.
Oh, wow.
So there's 9 right there, yeah.
I told you there was cartel activity, though.
Yet.
I told you. You heard it here first. I told you there was. I hadn't even been to the site yet. I can't wait to go on site. Oh, my God. So that is awesome. Well, I mean, it's not awesome. It's terrible that people got killed.
Well, it's a terrible story.
Yeah, it's a terrible story. But the thing about it is that there's just something. If you go and, because I've been doing a little Googling with this, and if you go and look at the areas where they have natural springs or natural hot springs and stuff, there's just a lot of weird activity that goes on in those areas and has for hundreds of years. So it's like there's something related to this water, even though it's very therapeutic and very healthy in most of the places, it draws a lot of negative actions and energy to it. You know, I guess it's the yin yang, you know, opposites attract type thing. I don't know. It's very bizarre, though.
So now Kathy is actually looking for some scientists. She'd love some scientists to come to the house because it seems like, you know, I've been saying it keeps getting darker and darker, and there's becoming more and more layers, and it wasn't like that. And she's kind of done with it now, but the whole purpose of the house was for education and, you know, science, do some, experiments or different things trying to figure out what the heck is going on at that house.
Has she ever had a religious person or a priest or anyone like that there? I've never heard mention of that.
Oh, yeah.
No one's I haven't heard any stories about
it. Yeah, well, Father Rob Hall has been there several times. Robert, I can't think of his name, but he works with a lot of the demonic type activity, and he's ordained minister, and just like you are, I am, Kathy is, Maria is. Kathy comes from Pentecostal family, and she's been very much in tune with her religion. And
what kind of reports? What kind of reports did he come back with? The priest.
Well, I can tell you that back the last time that they were there, it was not like it is now. Something has just exacerbated it, and it is so much stronger. We were going to talk Pete Haviland with the Paranormal Substation, I think is the name, or something like that, of his new show, and that was the one I was on most recently. Pete Haviland is an actual parapsychologist from the old days, not the new ones that people get something off the website, but from the old days. He's also a licensed, hypnotherapist, and he's been there before, but before they owned it. So he's been around. He's a private investigator. Kind of sounds like Deborah there.
Hey,
so he's been around for a really long time, like Deborah.
Good people.
He's going to be there. He's going to be there Monday, and he's bringing a psychic that has never been there and doesn't really know much about the house to try to do some more, research and testing and see what he can find out. If there's something else that he's picked up on. He's wanted to come there for a while, but he's kind of in poor health, and but he's finally feels healthy enough that he's going to come over there this Monday. I'll be over there when he's there too, but just he and just Peter and the psychic are going to be the only ones in the house when they're going through.
But they'll be recording and everything, right? They'll have the recorders going.
Oh, yeah, because they have cameras all over, yeah.
Awesome.
Just say.
Well, that's awesome. So Martha and I are working on something. We got something up our sleeve. We got them up with some good ideas, and we'll have more on that later on, and it'll be starting sometime in September, right? Did we just say September?
Right.
Yeah. So I'm
hopefully
excited.
My book will be out and all done by then too.
Yeah. I'm actually going to edit your book when you get it done, right? You're going to get it done and I can.
I know. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be getting it to you in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. That way I get to see it before anybody else does too. And then I get the first autographed copy. Yeah. Yay, me. All right, Martha. Yeah. I love you. We're going to let you go.
Okay.
And tell them how to get a hold of you if they want you to, to come look at something or talk to you about something.
Just go find me. Just put in Martha Hazard Decker, and you'll be able to find information over several things with easy contact info.
And that is called good branding, people. When you can put a name in and it covers the first 3 to 5 pages of Google, you know that person's well branded. So learn from
You
that.
can also go to spiritual.
I've been working on it.
And find your information, Martha.
Yeah.
Got your information posted there as well.
Yeah.
All right,
It's been
darling.
fun and
I want to give a big shout out to Letty.
Hey, Letty! Where's my t-shirt? Letty, where's my t-shirt?
Oh, you know what? She's asking us for really good vibes, sending her really good vibes. She's got a
What's going on?
opportunity coming up. So
Okay.
she really is asking for
All right.
It's done. It's done.
Letty, good vibes, good vibes.
It's done. It's sealed. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. It's yours.
Done and done.
Mm-hmm. All right, Martha.
Martha, have a wonderful day. It was good seeing you again. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And have fun with your class.
Go find that
See you next
rooster.
month.
Go find that rooster and make him hush.
He's sleeping.
All right. Talk to you soon, babe.
Okay.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Awesome.
You too.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Watch me do that. I do it. I do's it. There we go.
I did it.
Recording has stopped.
Yay.
I did it.
Oh my God. My daughter called me 5 times on video chat and it rings on all my phones and all my electronics at the same time because they all have Facebook on there. So it was knocking everything off the air when she was calling. So that's why I kept going bloop, bloop, bloop. So there was some activity on the live feed. So I apologize. So it wasn't a ghost though.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
It wasn't
We'll
a
just blame
ghost.
it all on you.
It was my daughter. She's persistent. Where does she get that from?
Lord have mercy. That is the question.
Very persistent. Oh my God. Martha is a hoot. I tell you what, she looks like she's such a calm, cool person, but does she not do some weird, exciting, bizarre things?
Oh my God. I would
like
not
second nature.
What, Gail? What?
I would not have pictured her as a diver. That would
No.
not have been on my.
I didn't even know that about her. I've known her for years and didn't know that. So
Oh my God, going down there searching for rescue. Oh, ugh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Dead bodies floating
No.
around.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
You know what? When she said that, you know what popped in my head? Remember that movie when we were young? We were all young once. The Ghost of Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's
and the
a
picture,
great-
and when we were kids, we'd go around bugging each other, going, garden shears in the throat, blood running down. And we would do that at recess when that movie came out. And I don't know why, but that just popped up in my head when she was talking about diving and finding those bodies.
Okay.
I know, random.
I don't think that ran across my mind.
Well, Scott calls me random girl, and there's a reason for it. Just the weird things pop up. So, all right.
Well, I am going to check into that TikTok. I know Ellen DeGeneres has talked about it for a long time. She's a real big fan of TikTok, especially on those micro videos.
Yeah.
Where it's just boom, 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 really quickly. So
Well-
I need to check that out so I can see what Martha's doing. That would be exciting.
Well, everything I've seen has been hilarious on there. There's some cute videos, some real cute videos, and I've shared them, but I've
I
never.
love how the families are doing the lip syncing, and the daughter comes out first, and then the dad will come out, and then the mom will come out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
I think
just
that
been
was
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was real cute.
Oh my God, we can't even get my
Some
family in the
talented
same
people
room.
out there.
Yeah.
Way to go, families.
Yep.
Well, it's
Awesome.
nice. There's a social media site that you can go to, and it's positive. And I know about that button where I can say, I don't want to see this. I don't want to unfriend them, but I may not want to see that negative. So I may unfollow, or I may just say, well, I think there's one that says take a break or something from seeing.
Yeah, you can take a break.
Snooze for 90 days.
Snooze. That's it.
And that's
it's not
3 months. And then about I think about 90 days I'll be over it, and I'll, they'll show back up.
When you're trying to get positive and stay positive, and you're reading all this great stuff, and then boom, you get hit by negative stuff. It's like, okay, I don't need to see that. So,
well, I made a rule on my Facebook page, because I post a lot of things to generate conversation. I like to make people think, and I like to see different point of views, because I know that I can get tunnel vision sometimes because I'm very, very comfortable with the way I think and how I think. So the rule is that you can't come on here and make a statement unless you can validate it. You have to be able to support what you're saying. You don't just get to express your opinion, and you don't get to say things like, oh, that's bullshit, or, whatever. So if you're going to say something pro, you have to support it. If you're going to say something negative, you have to support it. Man, it's really changed the whole tone of the way people interact. I'm digging it. I really am. And every once in a while, somebody will get off kilter, and I'm like, remember the rule. And this is my Facebook page. If you want to say that, go to yours. You don't get to do that here. So I've gotten some really interesting responses, and it's given me some different point of views I never would have thought of before. So, but I like good conversation.
Awesome.
I like
That's
debates.
awesome.
I like debates. I like conversation. I like seeing not just what people think, but have them tell me why they think that. It's really interesting why people come up with the ideas that they do. It's very intriguing to me. The human brain it really gets off kilter sometimes.
well, if we all thought alike, it would be a boring world, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't think so. I think I'm really fascinating, and everyone should think like
We're
me.
gonna have some variety. We got different.
I don't
rules,
want people. I don't want everybody thinking the way I do. First of all, it's dangerous, but secondly, it would be boring to me.
Well, I think it'd be fascinating. Does your ear hurt? You're rubbing your ear. Does it hurt?
Yeah, I think it's my glasses. It's the top part of my ear, and I think I've been wearing my glasses a lot. It's just trying to focus.
Difficulties. Yeah, we don't remember what glasses.
We were haunted for a moment.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
You know what happened yesterday? Speaking of haunted, I was walking down the hall, which is not very far. I mean, five spaces and you're into the living room. But I walked by the bathroom door and it was actually shut. I mean, closed. And that bathroom door is never closed. It's never shut. It's never, it's just me. No. And I remember thinking, okay, don't be starting with me today. I'm not in the mood. Don't be starting.
Well,
this ghosting crap. Not today.
Everybody
out
needs
there and help me trip me.
Everybody needs some me time. Everybody. I don't care where you are. You need some me time.
Yeah. Well, I do
Don't
want
be
to
hiding in the bathroom.
Yesterday, I went to see Audra for another acupuncture session. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if anybody is interested in acupuncture, she's in Allen. She's been on the show. But it was amazing. I enjoyed that session yesterday, and it really makes a difference. Not only just opening up all the meridians and all the things that need to be opened up, but it helps you to focus really more centered. That was amazing yesterday.
Well, I chatted with her yesterday, and we are discussing the possibility of her going to 2 weeks a month on our show on Thursdays, because I just think she has so much value to offer with the things that she does. She also is in total alignment with the mission statement and the ideas behind the Council of Families, and I just think she's a huge asset. So I would love to see her come on more often. So we're talking about that. We'll see if it works with her schedule. But anyway, so I guess it's time to say goodbye.
All righty. Cool. Yeah, it was a great show. Thank you, Martha, for coming on. All righty. And so everybody, we won't be back on until Monday, and we have April Chalk, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
So we'll be off the next 3 days and be back on Monday with April Chalk. So we look forward to that. We want you all to have a wonderful weekend. So thank you for sharing your time and energy with us at the Spiritual Neighborhood Lunch Bunch. We're a community project of the Council of Families for Children, dedicated to the. Oh, I lost them. I looked up and I went back and went to the opening one. Okay. So to contact any of the hosts, Elizabeth, Deborah, or myself.
She said host. She said host. Host. I want to clarify that for y'all.
I need another cup of coffee. 3:30 this morning.
So was I.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten the caffeine I need today yet. But anyway, to contact any of us, email us at spiritualneighborhood@gmail.com. Don't be shy to ask to be a guest on the show until we eat again, because it is lunchtime. Y'all have a great happy day, happy weekend. Today is Thursday, so.
Is it?
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Y'all be safe.
Safe.
Be safe and be happy.
This meeting is being recorded.